Yeah, Ron Dewars is my name. For some years I've been a volunteer at the Warhack Public School, working particularly with students who have reading difficulties. Recently I was appalled when I heard Christopher Pine say that the gonskiP proposals were too costly and would not be implemented. How does the panel members view the gonskiP reforms and its effect on public education?
Do you direct that question at anyone in particular?
No, just the panel generally. I don't expect you all to speak. Up to you.
That's a really important question. And the Greens, as I know do Labour, support fully funding gonskiP. Now this was a reform, this is a point I want to make, that we've got to get over our fear of minority government. Because when that government was in power, and this all around the world minority government works, but for some reason Australia's got this either or, and changing the guard all the time. gonskiP was agreed to by everybody, same as the NDIS. But when it gets to a change of government, it's like, let's pull a bit of the rug out from under the feet of the kids. Now this is about good social reform. Every child needs equity. Every child needs what every other child has in our school system. That's how we're going to become a progressive nation. So gonskiP needs to be fully funded, and I'm deeply concerned about the continual privatisation by the Liberal National Government. And I'll put this figure out for you. You asked me about economies before. $4 billion in fossil fuel subsidies to the coal industry every year. So there are billions of dollars in fossil fuel subsidies that should not be paying propping up an old industry that could go into schools, could go into gonskiP. We've got to stop, and I'll put this up, go and read it, it's called Econo Battle. You've heard a lot of it here tonight. It's simple, revenue in, revenue out, and the public good. We don't need to have all of the tax cuts and everything else that's been discussed. So let's get a good taxation system, and gonskiP needs to be up and running, same as all of our healthcare needs and aged care needs, fully funded for a good society.
Thank you,
John. Regional schools have suffered with a lack of funding for many years. This gonskiP is about making things even. The quality of education that our children get will be the same as you would get in any other part of the city, that you would get in the middle of Sydney. Okay, so it's about fairness in that regard. It's about fairness in identifying areas of disadvantage within our schools and funding that appropriately. So yes, look, we're fully committed. The gonskiP reforms should happen, and for the full 6 years.
Yeah.
Peter, David.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for all the work you do with all those kids. You've been doing a fantastic job for many years. Seems to have transmitted down to your son, who's turned out to be a fantastic teacher. Yeah. As I said in my speech, we haven't cut anything. The increases projected in years 5 and 6, which we're now into that zone, there'll still be increases, but they just won't be as unaffordable as was outlined. The previous government was unrealistic. Through tradition of government, governments do forward estimates, you've probably heard that term, over 4 years. They signed deals with a couple of states because, oops, they forgot to do a gonskiP deal with Queensland and the Northern Territory. They didn't even get a national agreement. And Western Australia was holding out too for a long, long while. But in the meantime, they promoted as though it was a done deal. Because in federal politics, you have to do a deal around the whole country. But getting back to what you're saying, the increases, first of all, during this term of government, all the funding for gonskiP that was outlined before we came into the responsibility of government have been delivered. As I said, in New South Wales, 26.7% increase in New South Wales government schools over the last, into education over the last 3 years. And things, that quantum of money that's there isn't being reduced. There will be an increase, but it won't be the more than 10%, 11%, 12%, 30% that were projected before, because they were unfunded. What we have done is increase them by affordable amounts, but the quantum of money that's now increased by almost 27% is still staying there. So it's misleading the way they describe a lesser increase as a cut.
David, to your left, please.
Thanks for the question, Rod, and I admire any volunteers, so keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Keep it very brief, it's very simplistic to me. Any funding for schools is wanted and granted, but it's got to achieve results. I honestly see our government throwing funding at so many applications of different things, and we don't see results. I really think we need to see results and changes in our school system to allocate the funding.
Education's like a lot of other industries or wish bodies. Everybody wants more money, but those figures of 8%, 8%, 8% and 6% and 10% for school funding going up, it's not feasible. It honestly isn't. The dollar has been driven down by Glenn Stevens. He's talked it down for the last couple of years to try and fix the mess that's been created by a housing and mining boom and this unbelievable belief that the pie can be grown. The pie can't be grown. You bring in more people, you do get more taxes, but you also get more requirements of health, education, houses, schools, more of everything. It's just an absolute nonsense. Pensioners and people saving money in the last few years have had their incomes and their savings go down to 1.75%. If inflation's up here at 3%, where's the value of your currency? The biggest impediment to this country has been inflation of the housing property boom brought on by the mining, people giving too much money, and everybody, real estate agents, solicitors, everybody, greed got the better of everybody. Reaching for that almighty dollar. Now we're going to have to pay for it because aged care's dear. It costs millions to build an aged care unit. A daycare centre. My daughter's in daycare business. She's a highly trained director and builder of these things. For her and her sister to go out and buy one in the inner city, $2 million for an old building, $2 million to fix it up, another $1 million to... It's crazy, and gonskiP can't happen because we can't afford it.
Thanks, Roger.